Thank you for considering, as requested, to discuss urgent public importance under Rule 50 pertaining to the exploration and extraction of petroleum in Nagaland. I rise with deep concern for our state's economic future as a steadfast commitment to achieving financial self-reliance. Although this subject has been discussed on many occasions, progress in decision-making and implementation has remained stagnant. Nagaland, Speaker Sir, even though rich in natural endowments, has long been burdened by dependency. This reliance is evident in our modest GDP figures, the scarcity of indigenous industries, and our dependence on external sources to meet our energy needs. And our dependence on external sources to meet energy needs, and not only that, our daily essentials like food, fuel, pharmaceuticals come predominantly from outside the state. While nearly 90% of our energy is imported from other states, this situation not only stifles our growth, but also prevents us from unlocking the full potential of our natural resources. Speaker said, it is universally acknowledged that energy in the form of fuel, electricity, or other varieties is the driving force behind economic progress. Without a stable and sufficient energy supply, our aspirations for job creation, industrial expansion, and infrastructural modernization remain unfulfilled. Alarmingly, our consumption of petroleum products increased from 154,000 metric tons in 2019 to 172,000 metric tons in 2020. That is an indication of our deep reliance on external sources. Speaker Sir, as global entities align their climate policies under frameworks like the Paris Agreement and set sights on a net zero future by 2050, we have very less time, but not yet late. So we must seize this timely opportunity to explore and evaluate our indigenous hydrocarbon resources. Geologically, Speaker Sir, Nagaland is very promising for hydrocarbon exploration, lying within the Naga-Scopan belt of the prolific Assam-Arakan Basin, a Category A basin. The Naga-Scopan belt is considered a primary source area for hydrocarbon generation, continually feeding major oil and gas fields in neighboring states. A recent hydrocarbon assessment by the Government of India estimates that the Assam-Arakan Basin contains 1,633 million metric tons of oil equivalent, of which only 178 million metric tons of oil equivalent, that is 11% has been discovered till date. The present question is, where is the remaining 89% of yet to find oil? Are these reserves in Nagaland's reservoirs, or do they lie in Assam or Arunachal? Some estimates suggest that Nagaland alone may hold up to 600 million tons. However, Speaker Sir, these estimates remain speculative until systematic oil exploration is carried out by reputable oil and gas companies. To date, ONGC conducted exploratory drilling and seismic surveys covering 602 line kilometers for 3D surveys and 6 square kilometers for 3D surveys during the 1970s in and around Wokha, Jomogedima, and Dimapur districts. The remainder of Nagaland remains largely unexplored without systematic scientific, geological, and geophysical studies. Speaker Sir, as you all know, oil exploration is much like a medical diagnosis, akin to conducting an X-ray or MRI to precisely locate hidden elements Comprehensive seismic surveys and rigorous scientific assessments are essential. History reminds us that the Champang oil field in Waka district produced crude oil until the early 1990s, yet no extensive exploration surveys have been undertaken across our state since then. Without these critical studies, we cannot fully gauge our hydrocarbon potentials or develop an effective, realistic appraisal strategy. Honorable Speaker, sir, allow me to elaborate on why we must urgently commence our oil exploration in the state. Number one is for economic growth and revenue generation, economic growth and revenue. The other is for employment generation, and the next is for infrastructure development, energy security and industrial growth, utilization of untapped resources, and finally, I wanted to further elaborate on this, strategic advantage. With India's growing energy demands, Nagaland has the opportunity to become a significant contributor to national energy security. Proactive policies could attract investors and national companies, bolstering our state's long-term development. Speaker, sir, therefore, as we decide to start exploration, there will be challenges and considerations. The first being the legal issues. We have Article 371A, which provides a special right to the Naga people over the land and resources. And so, even though the resources is ours, it is our choice whether to remain underprivileged and dependent on grants or to fully exploit the God-given natural resources, minerals, petroleum, and natural gas that would uplift our state, Speaker, sir. We also have environmental concerns. Any petroleum exploration must be balanced with environmental sustainability to protect our forest, water source, and biodiversity. We also have to consider community involvement in case of our decision to go for exploring, and inclusive process ensuring fair compensation and benefit for local communities is essential to prevent conflicts, as we have witnessed in the earlier attempts. With proper policies, transparency, and sustainability measures, oil exploration can be a transformative driver of Nagaland's economy. Speaker, sir, as we are all aware, and as we all profess as Christians, reflecting on the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ in Matthew 10:16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Unquote. I am reminded that we have been endowed with wisdom to identify and seize opportunities. God did not create us. God did not make our Nagas to live in a poverty or at the expense of others. The choice before us is clear, Speaker, sir, whether to remain dependent or move forward toward economic independence. In light of these considerations, Speaker, sir, I respectfully urge the state government to immediately issue a petroleum exploration license, PEL. This license would empower reputable oil firms to commence detailed exploration activities under a revenue sharing contract with clearly defined commitment programs and timelines. Although this exploration phase might span 3 to 10 years, it is essential for establishing the commercial viability of Nagaland's oil reserves. Moreover, during this phase, the state stands to benefit from annual license fee, direct and indirect employment opportunities, local hiring for vehicles and equipment, and rental incomes from landowners. Beyond these immediate advantages lies the potential for long-term economic transformation, Speaker, sir. A successful exploration program would pave the way for issuing a petroleum mining lease, what we call it PML, enabling sustained production and transportation of crude oil. This strategic move, Speaker, sir, is not solely about tapping fossil fuel reserves. It is about reimagining our economic destiny. It is our opportunity to break free from dependency by combining our indigenous wisdom with modern technology that we have at hand to secure a prosperous future. Our past experience from ONGC's operations in Champang Tsuri to historical well drilling in our region demonstrate that Nagaland's oil is capable of yielding the resources required to stimulate industrial growth and uplift our communities. A systematic, scientifically driven exploration program will unlock these untapped resources while fostering capacity building and skill development among our people. Honorable Speaker, sir, the urgency of this issue cannot be overstated. At this critical economic crossroads that we are faced with, we must choose a decisive action and innovation over prolonged dependency and stagnation. Let this Assembly and the government of the day view petroleum and natural gas exploration as a strategic investment in Nagaland's future, a vital step towards achieving energy self-reliance and economic empowerment. I, therefore, Speaker Sir, urge this august House to direct the state government to take immediate steps in launching a comprehensive oil exploration program. Let us unlock the hydrocarbon potential within our land, generate employment, stimulate local industries, and build the robust infrastructure of tomorrow. And in doing so, we will secure not only much needed revenue for our state, but also a legacy of prosperity and self-reliance for future generations. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for your attention and for considering this pivotal initiative toward truly safeguarding Nagaland's economic future. Thank you.
House towards the announcement of the then Union Minister of Oil and Natural Gas on the 30th January 2018, exactly 7 years ago. Clause 4 of Article 371A in the Constitution of India holds that no parliamentary act dealing with the transfer and ownership of land and its resources shall apply to the state of Nagaland without the State Assembly consent. Today, we have entered 7 March 2025 and we may be getting very late because if you look at the way how the world economy is advancing, the time is not very far off when crude oil will be exhausted or slowly lose its relevance. We all know that the future global economy is going to be underplanned by technologies that depend on minerals such as lithium, graphite, cobalt, titanium, and rare earth elements. These are essential for the advancement of many sectors, including high technical electronics, telecommunication, transport, and defense system. They are also very vital to power the global transmission to a low carbon emission economically and will promote climatic action and environmental protection. All countries, including India, is making efforts to replace the oil with other renewable energy, clean energy to make it more cost effective and to protect us from the environment. The time is not long when all the vehicles will be converted to electric form in India, and it was reflected in the Union budget of 2021 to 22 to make India 100% electric vehicle nation by the year 2030. Likewise, India had included lithium in storage mineral category and its exploration is on top priority. Now, I am concerned that any delay in the exploration of oil, natural gas, petroleum products, and minerals may cost us so dearly as the oil may get exhausted, and also petroleum products, minerals may lose its worth and relevance in the future. Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to draw the attention of this August House towards the appeal made by 8 Naga oil officials for exploration of oil in Nagaland in September 2021. And the details, already the previous Honorable Speaker has said, I would not repeat. Now, for example, on an average, our neighboring state of Assam earns approximately more than 2,000 crores annually as royalty from oil and gas alone, while Nagaland is getting none. Honorable Speaker, sir, therefore, I strongly feel that the present and the future generation should no longer be deprived anymore of the economic benefits that can accrue if oil exploration resumes in Nagaland. As of now, the window of opportunity is opened. I say it is open till the time crude oil remains relevant and valued. And we pray that we arrive there fast. This will be a good strategic option for all of us, the crucial hour of reckoning. Honorable Speaker, sir, Nagaland, among the other eastern states, is most fortunate with rich mineral deposits, blessed by Almighty God. Nagaland government, in its wisdom, had given permission to oil and natural gas exploration for oil survey and investigation in 1973. Accordingly, ONGC surveyed and drilled in places where oil was available in areas such as Champang, Hoseke, Koponala, and Tosheze. Oil was extracted and refined on trial basis, and in the year 1994, Nagaland state received revenue of 33 crores 83 lakhs as a royalty of 15% and with the addition of 3% on the based on the article of 371, and so Nagaland government received 18% more than the other states in the country. Nagaland state could not further do the extraction of oil inside Nagaland due to various internal differences arising out of Article 371A. Civil societies argue that in view of Article 371A, outsiders shall not be allowed to extract oil as the land and its resources belong to its people. The Naga political group said that oil should not be extracted inside Nagaland till we get independence. On the other hand, government of Assam continues to develop oil fields along our borders. In Assam, there are 4 oil refineries, Digboy, Bagagon, Nimaligarh, and Guwahati. Initially, the capacity of the above 4 oil refineries was only 5.85 metric tons per annum. But now, 2 years ago, it was increased to 17 metric tons per year, almost 4 times more. And by now, it is almost 7 times more. 4 refinery capacities have been raised by the Assam government in collaboration with the government of India, and they have developed 39 oil fields to meet the requirements of the 4 oil refineries. I have all the names, but just to avoid, for convenience of the time, I will not be reading out those names, 39. In Nagaland, we have 7 oil fields inside Nagaland, namely Champang, Hoseke, Koponala, Tosheze, Nikihe, Tokshe, and Pishike. It is now 51 years old that oil extraction has been operational between Assam and Nagaland boundary. And also inside the Nagaland state, taking the advantage of our unresolved Naga issue, the deposits purely in Assam. Why Assam government did not develop refineries only within the state of Assam? And my question is, why should the government of Assam only explore and develop oil fields along the Nagaland boundary? We Nagas should introspect and resolve our past differences in this matter, and at the earliest take appropriate decision soon on Assam, Nagaland boundary oils and also the oil fields that are inside our state. A sense of urgency for oil exploration in Nagaland is the need of the hour. so as to fully take the advantage of its word and take our step towards economic prosperity through the coming of industry, power generation, infrastructure development, and financial benefits, etc., etc. In the right time such as this, and let the people and the government enjoy the benefits of God-given natural gas, petroleum products, and minerals like our neighboring state under the able and the most proactive leadership of our Chief Minister, Sri Nipiro. Thank you.
Speaker, sir, I rise to participate on matters of urgent public importance on the subject exploration and extraction of petroleum in Nagaland. So we are grateful to the framers of Indian Constitution, particularly our Naga pioneers and leaders, for inserting Article 371A, protecting the rights and privileges of our people. However, to my understanding, this very article have been misconceptualized and thoroughly misinterpreted by our people. And in fact, the article has become a stumbling block in the development of our state in many aspects. Honorable Sir, today we are living at the edge of super technology. Today, a laser can destroy a settlement. A laser can pull down anything above the sky. A laser can extract anything beneath the ground. Sir, I'm afraid by the time we agreed upon to explore the oils and other natural minerals from our state, who knows? Our oil fields may find dried up because we never know what is really happening in our neighboring state. As I said, technology matters a lot. Sir, it is also to be noted, any nation or any state is determined, the developing nation or developed nation is determined by the economy of its people. To my mind, our Naga leaders, be it our national workers, be it civil society leaders, or for that matter the intellectuals, it is something like we are aspiring to become a millionaire by remaining hunger today. Therefore, sir, through this house, I want to provoke the minds of our Naga leaders, the intellectuals, to come to the realization, wake up from the deep slumber. We cannot keep on slaving over the Article 371A, and it is high time to come forward and work together with the government and start exploring the petroleum from our state. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. This matter has been discussed comprehensively, so I do not want to go into detail, or I would not reiterate what my earlier friends have said. I just want to share a few thoughts on how we have come about. We all support, we have been supporting for exploration of resources, including petroleum, for the interest of the state. So we should all this time very firmly support this decision of the state government. So that is one area. I just have concern on some issues regarding the idea conceived of sharing the revenue in the so-called disturbed area belt. It's a very brilliant idea. The format of revenue sharing has been discussed. It's not been implemented. Nagas, whether it's in Arunachal Pradesh or in Assam or Manipur or in Nagaland for that matter, within ourselves, we don't settle illegally. That is our perception. only with the settlement order of the government, we go and inhabit those areas. And therefore, I want to dwell on the areas which has been tagged under the dispute, tagged as a disputed belt. I don't know, but to share revenue with the counterpart, I don't disagree to that arrangement. But you see, just few days back, Honorable Minister from Assam, who is in charge of the Assam Border Protection Department, had very categorically said that the Assam land, measuring about 83,000 hectares, has been occupied by 3 states, including the state of Nagaland. So he said Nagaland had occupied 83,000 hectares, their land. In the assembly, he said that. Meghalaya, 59,490.21 hectares, and the remaining by Mizoram. So, in the light of those statements, and this issue of land with the Assam is with the Honorable Supreme Court. So, I just want to, this is a frank sharing, is that why don't we make phase-wise? Phase 1 can be in the places where we don't have any issues. Phase 2, we're not disagreeing with the idea of sharing the revenue. But get some, we should also get some legal advice, I think, perhaps the State Advocate General or any other legal luminaries in the state who we engage, so that we are at a safe side. Because we cannot risk our land and our people, and we cannot leave them at their own mercy. We have to protect them. So in the erstwhile Dimapur district, including Dimapur, we have sector A, B, C, D, as mentioned by earlier speakers. There is potential for petroleum oil in those places. And so our people, they have apprehension about it. This was vented out to some of us who are representing the border areas. So if we can go phase-wise, that is my suggestion. That's a personal opinion. It depends on the government. We'll deliberate again. But this is something to ponder. I want to share it with the honorable members of this August House. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you. But I think it's high time we should exploit our natural resources for the benefit of the state. I thank the leadership. He has been very keen to see that the state develops comprehensively. No one should be left behind. Right? At the same time, all these technical issues with the land dispute problems should be taken really care, with utmost care, because we have issues as mentioned earlier. We have our rights. Article 371A is a blessing for us. We should not try to interpret it our own whims and fancies. It's a true blessing for us. Our people are saying it's our land. Why should we share rights of occupancy? Is there more than 100 years they have occupied those lands. And so settlement order has been given by the government, either by the British government before 1947 and government of India before 1968, and now the state government. So I think these are the things we should also deliberate a little bit to a far extent and see that everybody is benefited. So thank you for the time.
Burdens to all of us, but as far as practical involvement on this matter is concerned, it is again mostly confined in my constituency. The name that you are hearing Jambang and Thori all falls within my constituency. And this portion of the oil areas, oil field, are not in the exploration stage. These are already in the production stage, Speaker said. As the former honorable speakers have already mentioned, when the former Chief Minister of Nagaland, he was holding the portfolio of geology and mining. Sometime in 1973, the inauguration took place at Jambang oil field. And exploration license was given to the ONGC at that point of time, Oil and Natural Gas Commission. That was during that time, the nomination, you call it nomination era. And this ONGC, they have messed up everything, we should say like that, because whatever is due to our people has not been given. Only 33 something crore were given as a revenue, as mentioned, to the government of Nagaland. And thousands and lakhs of metric tons of crude oils have been, let us say, stolen. I would very bluntly put it that way. Stolen from our land. Then after that, there were a lot of protests. I was very much a part of that. NSF was at the forefront that these people should not be given a free hand to extract. A license was given for exploration, whether there is oil or not, but they went into extraction, and now it's in the production stage. If you go and see the spot at Old Sori and Jambang, you will see a fresh crude oil oozing out from the pipe which has been inserted on the ground. So it is in the production stage. Now, the point here is our people, sometimes we are very, either we are very smart or we don't know the future consequences, the collateral damage that will happen to our people. So they went to the court filing a BIL. Later on they realized that it was not a very good endeavor. So it was withdrawn. But the Supreme Court thought, and they were of the opinion that since it involves both the state and the Union of India, and also a public interest, so it was kept as a suo motu case, which is still lying in the Supreme Court. Now, the interpretation of that Article 371A is still a bone of contention. Speaker, sir, I'll not take much time, but let me go a little bit because I'm already in this field. So now, as far as my opinion is concerned, the Article 371A, which has come about after the 13th Amendment, Nagaland State Act 1962, it is a political agreement which has come out of a political agreement. And therefore, it cannot be interpreted inside the court. It has to be a political negotiations between the Union of India and the state government of Nagaland. Otherwise, if we start interpreting this inside the court, I'm afraid the intention of that agreement will not be fulfilled. The intent of that agreement will not be fulfilled. And I am of the strong view that it cannot be and it should not be interpreted inside the court, because it is a political agreement. Now, as far as my area is concerned, I have taken up this matter personally, and I have discussed with the Jambang Land Owners Union, GLU, and the Thuri Old Land Owners Union. They have already agreed upon that if government of Nagaland is ready to explore, in fact it is on the production stage, they are ready to, now they have even given NOC, no objection certificate. It was handed over to me, through me as their representative. Sometime in the month of last year, April, May, I don't remember the exact month, but I have already handed over to our Honorable Chief Minister, the NOC from both Jampang Landowners Union and the All Landowners Union. And so therefore, what I would like to urge upon today is we must expedite the matter which is still pending in the court, if it can be handled, of course, in a proper way. But in the meantime, if government of Nagaland can also explore devise some mechanism while protecting our rights, which is guaranteed under Article 371A, land and its resources belongs to the people. So therefore, while jealously guarding that right, we can explore, devise some other mechanism in inviting some of the companies through the government of Nagaland and start the production stage. But during the last discussion, I was a part of that meeting. The union secretary in charge of petroleum and natural gas visited Nagaland, and there was a meeting in the chief minister's office. I was also invited. I went, and they were also very positive that the government of India is interested to immediately start this exploration. But the condition that I have put in that meeting was there has to be a refinery so that it will generate employment for our youth also. And that should be the condition precedent which I have put forward. If you see, Speaker Sir, the deposits in Assam and Nagaland, there will be no much difference. In fact, many of the geologists, the research, the scientists says that the oil deposits in Jambang and Old Suri is massive. And therefore, why can't we also qualify for your refinery, even if they are talking of in terms of deposits? And so this was my demand and argument I was putting forward. It was minuted in the meeting minutes. It was very positive. I'm still demanding, and I'm of the opinion that the condition precedent should be there should be a refinery in our land so that we can accommodate our people. Let me just conclude by saying that if you see the Assam Accord, how it came about, the All Assam Students Union launched a massive agitation because of the illegal migrant immigrants in Assam. So when they entered into agreement, one of the main success story of that, let us say, the agreement is establishment of refinery. And you will find all of us travels to Guwahati. These days we take the other road, Tipu side, otherwise Numalika. This is actually an outcome of the Assam Accord. And they cannot say that the volume of production from your lane is lesser than Assam. No, Speaker Seb. So therefore, I would still insist that yes, as a representative of my constituency, 40 Pandri, and also the affected people, the landowners of Jambang and Old Suri, we have already given our consent, and we will abide by what we have already given as NOC. It has to be expedited. It should be initiated at the earliest. But the benefits which are due for our people should not be sacrificed and should be protected for the benefits of the younger generation. Thank you very much.
I rise to participate in the discussion on issue pertaining to exploration and extraction of petroleum oil in Nagaland. Sir, you're aware that Nagaland is endowed with rich reserve of oil. Exploration activities was started in the state by ONGC, and first was made discovery was made in Jambang in 1973 and started producing in 1983. The oil gas production from Jambang was stopped in May 1994 due to various reasons, including non-payment of royalty or production of petroleum beyond permission granted by the state, and not giving the information, how much quantity it has drilled. Sir, you're aware, we have rich deposit as mentioned by all the speakers. In Champang, Zori block, 31 wells, out of which 21 are oil bearing, 2 is gas, 5 found barren, and 3 incomplete. Besides that, interstate spanning across 12 districts, starting from Mon, Longland, Mokokchung, Wokha, Temenyu, Newland, Dimapur, Chumgadima, Peret, Kohima, Pek, and Meluri. More than 400 villages covering. So it is not only Champang, but covering 12 districts. And so that shows that we have huge deposit. In recent time, in DAB area, ONGC have carried out exploratory drilling at Piheku village, Nikhe village, and Tokishe village under Newland district. Speaker sir, what I want to mention is all this petroleum and natural gas we have to take up collectively, not individually, and through the state government. Otherwise, we will be lured or misused, and we will not get the benefit. Speaker sir, Nagaland state passed an act, the Nagaland Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulation and the Nagaland Petroleum and Natural Gas Rules were notified in 2012. In December 2012, the state invited expression of interest for carrying in 11 area oblique zones. Permit was granted for exploration and extraction of petroleum and natural gas to Metropolitan Oil and Gas Private Limited in Wokha district. But Government of India, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, the minister in charge had written to the state objecting the act which this assembly had passed. Then in between, you are aware of public interest litigation, PIL was filed by some OHOs, but with an understanding they had withdrawn. But as mentioned, the Honorable Court took up the case so moto PIL and is pending for disposal in the court. I'm told that there is some hope. And the main issue on this case is, now, who is the order? Is it central government? Is it the state? Or is it the mount owner? This is a very dangerous issue. Though in the Indian Constitution, in Article 371A, land and its resources, belongs to the people. This is contested. So there are many suggestions. Somebody started taking individually, some collectively, but the state government also could not handle this. And in this issue, when I became Chief Minister in 2003, the National Development Council, NDC, meeting was held in Itanagar, JNK, chaired by Honorable Prime Minister Vajpayee. And I raised this issue. But since in a huge meeting, they could not go into detail, so they referred that the state government, Petroleum Ministry and the Home Ministry may please sit together and find solution. In that, in recognition of the ownership, added royalty was given. 2%. That is a token of the ownership. But since it became a case and we are not united, and that's how till today we are facing this problem. Now, Speaker Sir, our government has been pursuing the exploration and extraction of oil with Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas since August 2018. Our aim has been to resolve the deadlock and to resume petroleum operation in Nagaland in accordance with the special provision for the state as inserted in the Constitution of India. But because of court case, there are apprehension that we may be used and things may get, others will take advantage. And that's why there are hesitance. And therefore, it is actually subsidized. But discussion and educating one another is one issue. But since the case is pending in the court, we may not be able to take decision. Speaker Sir, you are aware that the oil-rich regions are along the DAB of the state, disputed area belt. A meeting was held by our officers and me at Dimapur on 21st September 2021 with the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas and the officers from Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The meeting discussed, among other things, allowing oil and gas activities in the block awarded under Open Electric Licensing Policy, OALP, in Nagaland and granting permission to ONGC to resume its operation within Nagaland and the DAB. In continuation to the meeting held at Dimapur, an alternative interim agreement through tripartite MOU between GOI and Government of Nagaland and Government of Assam and bipartite MOU for resumption of activities in Nagaland was suggested. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, shared a draft with us. The state government had shared our comments and suggestions with MOPNG to be incorporated in the draft MOU. In that, if there is sufficient crude oil found, then refinery should be established within the state of Nagaland. It was one of our conditions, as Achomemo had also expressed his concern. I, with the official, including Chief Secretary, met Union Minister Mr. Hardip Singh Puri on 9 September 2022 and requested for formulating a policy specific to the state of Nagaland. During the meeting, contain other suggestions were made, including carving out relatively smaller size of exploration acreages to attract more bidders and extending royalty and revenue share to the people of Nagaland. There also, in that meeting also, we have come up with a setting up of refinery in Nagaland was also reiterated. Speaker Sir, we feel that these measures would be in nature of an interim arrangement and will not prejudice the ongoing case. It would also facilitate exploiting and extraction of oil and natural gas in our state. We can also, if people agree and we decide, we can do away in the disputed area, but we can do within the state, our own state, minus we will take the disputed area belt separately and take up this case which are within the state boundary without any dispute. Speaker Sir, we feel that these measures would be in nature of an interim agreement and will not jeopardize the court case. That is what we told. Our government further feels that an interim arrangement for royalty revenue sharing is required. Pending disposal of the case in the Supreme Court, royalty needs to be equally shared for the entire DAB area covering sectors A, B, C, D, E and F, which now Assam also agreed in A, B, C and D, but the clarity is not there in E and F, which was also agreed that it should be kept in the escrow account till some solution is found. In order to resolve the deadlock, a number of meetings were held between the central government and government of Nagaland, and also with the Assam government. Speaker Sir, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, GOI, constituted a high-level committee to discuss resolution of exploration and production activities in Nagaland. Subsequently, a meeting with a delegation was held on 8 October 2024 at Kohima. The state government reiterated to its delegations of a special status conferred by the Constitution of the state of Nagaland. Sir, further discussion was held with Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas on 13 November 2024. The need to evolve a set of measures specifically for Nagaland was reiterated. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas stressed the importance of minimum economic capacity and hence it will depend on the volume of production attained after exploration phase, that is about the refinery. Sir, opening up the state of Nagaland for oil and gas exploration and production will definitely improve the state finances, as mentioned. In this, we have set up a ministerial committee headed by Chief Minister and the 2 Deputy Chief Ministers and the local MLA of the area, so that we can resolve with the public through the MLAs, and we can think of starting to explore and exploit within Nagaland. I have mentioned on previous occasion that Nagaland is rich, but the people of Nagaland remains poor. I'm confident that together we should find ways to explore and extract petroleum, oil, and natural gas in our state. Thank you.